Today we're doing lesson 2.5, writing equations in slope-intercept form. As a reminder, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. You will need a loose leaf of paper for notes, as well as RPJ, page 41. So go ahead, take a minute and have both of those out. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. It says, find the slope for each line, find the y-intercept of each line, and then write an equation for each line. So I'm going to start with the blue line, or the line on top, and I'm going to start off by finding the slope. So if you notice, there's no ordered pairs written in. So you can find ordered pairs that fall on this line. So when I do this, I'm going to start by just finding points. So the first point I always pick is the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is right here, or 0, 4. Another point that I see that falls perfectly on the grid is 2, 5. So these are the two ordered pairs that I'm going to use. So to find slope, remember it's rise over run. So I rise once, and I run twice. So my slope is 1 over 2. To find the y-intercept, we've already found that. That's the b. That's where it crosses the y-axis, which is 0, 4. So I'm just going to take this information and plug it into my equation of y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to replace 1/2 for the m, so it becomes y equals 1/2 x. And I'm going to replace 4 for the b. So the equation of the blue line is y equals 1/2 x plus 4. Let's try the red line. Again, let's find the m and the b. So I'm going to find some ordered pairs. So the first one that I see is that y-intercept of 0, 1. So I'm going to write that one in. And then I find another ordered pair, and I find 2, 2. So again, I'm going to count my rise, which is 1, and my run, which is 2. So see if you can put that into an equation. You should have said y equals 1/2 x plus 1. Please try the green line with your table. So for the green line, doesn't matter what points you pick, but you should have had a slope of, again, 1/2. And your y-intercept in this one is 0, -2. So your equation could have read y equals 1/2 x plus -2, or you could have done y equals 1/2 x minus 2. Either one is acceptable. So I would like for you to try C with your table group. Identify the slope, the y-intercept for all three lines in C only, and then put them into an equation. Okay, so I've put up the information on here, but just by looking at this grid in C, I automatically recognize that the blue line is a negative slope. So you should have included a negative in your blue line, which is this one, whoopsies, which is this one right here. So I had for green, or the one right here, I have that as a slope of 1/6 and a y-intercept of 0, 3. So the equation is y equals 1/6 x plus 3. Again, just plugging all of this into y equals mx plus b. For the red, I had a slope of 4/3 and a y-intercept of 3. So my equation was y equals 4/3 x plus 3. And for the blue line, I had a negative slope of 1/3 and a y-intercept of 3. So my equation was y equals -1/3 x plus 3. At this point, we're done with our RPJ, so you can go strictly to your notes. So let's try something similar for these two. So we're going to write an equation of the line in slope-intercept form. So again, remember slope-intercept form is just y equals mx plus b. So we're going to start by identifying the m and the b. So the slope of line A, right away I recognize it's negative, so I'm going to include that right away. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to run 2. So my slope is negative 3 over 2. My y-intercept is 0, comma 5. So I'm just going to take that and replace it in the equation. So y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 5. Try B at your table. Should have had an m, or a slope, of 5 over 3, and a y-intercept of 0, negative 3. Okay. So for this equation, we could have had y equals 5 over 3x plus negative 3, or y equals 5 over 3x minus 3. Either one would be acceptable. If in big ideas this first option doesn't work of the plus and negative 3, try this second one. Alright, let's take a look at this word problem. I'm posting this video on Edline, so if you don't get it all written down, it's okay, it will be posted for you, but it says the graph shows the distance remaining to complete a tunnel. Write an equation that represents the distance, y, in feet, remaining after x months. So let's start by finding our m and our b. So to find m here, it might be kind of hard to do rise over run based on this. So remember our other option is we have that formula of y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm just going to take these points and I'm going to label x1, y1, x2, y2. And I'm going to plug them into the graph. And it doesn't matter if you had it flip-flopped, it's okay. So I'm going to do 15,000 minus 3,500 over 4 minus 0. And you get negative 2,000 over 4, which equals negative 500. So our slope here is negative 500. And our b is pretty simple to find. That is just 0, comma 3,500. So go ahead and take that information and put it into an equation for me. You should have said y equals negative 500x plus 3,500. That's the answer to A. Then it says how much time does it take to complete the tunnel? Well, if I know that the tunnel is complete, I know that there is 0 feet left or 0 feet left to make. So I'm going to take this equation and I am going to plug in 0 for y and solve for x. So 0 equals negative 500x plus 3,500. And I'm just going to use inverse to solve. So the first thing I would do is add a negative 3,500. So my new equation is negative 3,500 equals negative 500x. Divide by negative 500. So x equals 7, and let's include our unit of months. Let's try one more like that, where it says write an equation of the line that passes through 0, 5, and 4, 5. So again, I need to start off by finding slope. So I'm going to label x1, y1, x2, y2, and I'm going to plug this into the formula to find my equation. So I have 5, or to find my slope. 5 minus 5 over 4 minus 0. So I get 0 over 4, which equals 0. So think about what you know from the first part of the chapter about a slope that equals 0. It's a horizontal line. So if you notice here, both of these y's are the same. So the equation of this line would be y equals 5. So you have the rest of the period to go ahead and get started on homework, which is page 76 to 77, 5 through 8 all, 12 through 15 all, and number 17. This video will be on Edline if you want to re-watch it, but you also need to import your answers on Big Ideas. So the rest of the period is yours.